Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in. You guys are in for a treat today. I am excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a great live. I want you guys to come on in, say hello when you come in. I see some people joining our live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us today. Hello, hello. All right, good. Excellent. Hey, June. Hey, Madge. How are you? Nikendra, how are you? Hey, welcome to the live today. Good afternoon. It's so excited. I'm so excited for what we're going to share today. It's been a great week. I don't know if you tuned in yesterday, but if you missed yesterday, don't forget to go on my Insta stories on Power Up, or you can go on the live from yesterday and check out. We were talking about the power of hope. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. We're getting started. We have such a great show for you today. I have a special guest that is going to be a blessing to your life. So I need you to get ready. That means get your pen, get your paper, get ready to take notes, because this conversation is a must-have for this season. We are in the series of how to reach and pastor a digital church. Today, we're going to add another brick to this wall, right? We've been building brick by brick by brick. It's new, it's exciting, it's challenging, but it is where we are and we're making the best of it. And so I'm excited to share with you today with my special guest. We're going to be talking about the power of media, how to use media to become that online church, how to use media to reach people where they are in this season. And so I'm excited about it. I know that you guys are. I need you right now as you come in the comment section below, begin to type and tell me where you are streaming from, what city, what state, whether it's your car, whether you're in North Carolina. Tell me where you are at and you're watching the Leader to Leader live show. So I want you guys to do that now. When you come in, don't be silent. Say hello. I see more people coming in. Hey, Jamel, thank you guys for joining us today. It's going to be great. As you guys are typing it in, make sure that you are liking and inviting somebody to join us on today. All right, like, invite, and share this live as you are commenting below. Hey, all right, Hollis Queens is in the house. All right, I see some people there typing excellent. I want to know where you're from, where you're viewing us from. We're excited to be a part of your day, and we hope that this conversation makes your day even better. Okay, so this is going to be something that you don't want to miss. Brooklyn, New York is on. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Jay, thank you for joining us today. All right, you guys are doing good. I'm excited about it. Continue to type in the comment section below. Get ready for us to talk about how to reach and pastor a digital generation, a digital church, right? This is where we are, but we're using a key strategy and media. I want you guys to continue to type, and I'll be right back with our special guest, none other than Sean James. All right, we're back. Ready, get set. Okay, because we're ready to go into this conversation. I'm so excited because this guy has radically changed my life in the way that I view my message and my mission. He's been able to share with me some of the things that I need to make sure that not only is my message correct, but my packaging of my message is correct. And this is very, very key, especially for those of you who are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, serialpreneurs. You're in leadership. You are doing life in a big way. You've got a big vision. This is a conversation for you. If you're a pastor, if you're a church leader, this is a conversation for you, because what? It's not just about this pandemic stopping your progress. It's time to forge your way through using media as the medium to get your message out in a big, big way. And so I always tell people, hey, Choi is on, Nancy is on. I always tell people when I start thinking about what this pandemic has done, it has realigned and repositioned our priorities, right? When we first came out, we're on social media. It's a flyer here, it's a click or a like there, but there was no real need for engagement, right? Because you saw the people in your building every week and you got to touch them physically, embrace them, talk to them. But now all we have is media. And so it's so important. It's uber important that we as a people begin to adjust ourselves, to realign and get ready to now maximize this platform called social media. And the only way to do that is with media marketing. It's the only way to do that is we got to get our message and mission correct. All right. And I said, okay, Maurice, hey, Maurice. I said, Maurice, look, I'm going to invite somebody on named Sean James, and he's going to share with us today that this is going to be one of the topics that you need that's going to fortify your message in this season. And so I want you guys, as you come on, to like, invite, and share as we go into this topic. Now, he's phenomenal. He's great. I'm really telling y'all the truth. You need to get a pen and paper because there is going to be nuggets that's dropped that's going to radically change your presentation and how you reach people that you are going after in this season. If you know a pastor, you know a leader, this is especially for the church. I want you to tag them in this post. That means in the comment section below, write their name, tag them in this, share this to their inbox, invite them to be a part of this conversation because this is uber important to the success of your ministry, your business in this season. So we're going on. I'm going to introduce Sean like I already have. He's coming on and he's going to share a little bit more about who he is and what he does. And it's going to be great. Y'all ready? I hope you're ready. Hola.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. I am wonderful. So happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be with you today.
Oh, I'm excited. As you can see, it's like I'm on 10 because I know what this information is about to do. Bishop Fowler is on, Maurice is on, Joy is on, Tanae is on, so many other people. My sis is on. They're ready. They're ready to hear what you have to say as they're coming in. And they're in the comment section below. Y'all say hello to Sean. Say hello to him. He's ready to pour out and give you some information that is going to change the trajectory of your success in life and in ministry. And so, Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, okay, for your business. Tell us about that, and then we're going to jump into this conversation.
Once again, thank you so much for having me on. I am the founder and managing partner of the Vision Works public relations firm with our headquarters location here in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have a satellite office in New York City. We are full service public relations, digital marketing agency. We do everything from strategy planning to crisis communication, social media management and content creation, web development, digital marketing, print, and of course, anything else you can think of that involves media. From getting a billboard up on the highway to getting a flyer posted on social media, we do it all. And I've been doing it for 4 years. I started the firm shortly after I left government. I was working for an elected official in New York City, which was an amazing jumpstart to my career. I definitely love serving the city of New York and working in government and politics. But certainly my faith was beckoning me to do more. You know, we talk about faith, being a faith-driven leader and business owner. So I'm sitting in this seat today because I heard the voice of God calling me to do more. And to step out on the gifts and the talents that he had placed in me. So I took the risk, I took that jump, and I took that leap of faith and launched into what I knew God was calling. And here we are 4 years later. And what God has done has been no short of a miracle and a blessing, and keeping his promise with us. So yeah, we're at the cornerstone of faith and dreams and just believing that, you know, the voice of God is much stronger than any other opposition that we could ever face.
Awesome. Wow. What a testimony. Y'all hear that, solopreneurs? You hear that, entrepreneurs? As many people have been sitting on their dreams and they've been sitting on their vision and they're just like, I want to get started. I don't know how to get started. And they kind of been in this in-between place because they're missing that missing link of media, right? How do I get the word out about what I'm doing or what I want to do? And so you took the leap, and God has truly, truly blessed. And that's something that I want to say to somebody that's listening today. You've been waiting, 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 but now this pandemic has afforded you the time to invest in your vision. It has afforded you the time to you're not distracted by work. You can't leave the building. You're at home. Pour into your vision, invest into yourself. And so part of doing that, getting the message out, is having the right media products. And so Sean, let's start with this first question, because many times in the church, we don't understand the power of media. We don't understand how important it is to have a presence on social media. So talk to us about why that's so powerful, especially now during this time of the pandemic.
Having a presence on social media is really showing up, in your own life. The world is digital. The world is online. Now more than ever in COVID-19, we're on quarantine, and the way we're interacting is no longer person to person in person. We're interacting person to person virtually. So you not having a presence on the World Wide Web means that you're not present. You haven't shown up. You're not sitting at the table. You're not in the room. So being on social media literally is putting you in the room again. And I know it's kind of hard for some of us to grasp, but it's the way that the world has grown and matured. So if you want to be in the room, if you want to show up, you've got to be on social media, in some form, some fashion. And one of the things that's so interesting about social media is every day it's changing. The dynamics are changing so quickly, and you got to stay abreast of the changes and stay on the pulse of change, because if not, you'll find out that the room that you was in yesterday is no longer a room that's available. You've been left behind. So you've got to be moving with the current, be moving with the time, because you want to be in the room. You want to be where people are, especially if you're a business owner, if you're a leader, if you're a pastor. You want to be where people are. One of the worst things when we talk about getting your message out, one of the hardest things to do to get your message out is to be in a room that's empty. So your message isn't going very far. So you want to make sure you're in the right rooms, in the right social media platforms at the right time, reaching the right audiences to get your message out.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I love what you said about being in the room. That's really, really important, especially in this season, because there's no physical rooms, right? You're stuck in your house, your home, but now the room has expanded. And what people don't realize, especially pastors and leaders, is that you've been given the opportunity. Now we got hear me clearly. We have to stop seeing our problems as an obstacle and see it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
COVID-19 is not an obstacle, it's an opportunity. You've been given an opportunity. Your small church can be big online. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because the playing field has been leveled. Everybody has the same access. Everybody has the same platform. It's been leveled. It was so good. I read something this morning that some of us have been in the background for so long, but what God has literally done is He's leveled the playing field so that if you've been in the background preparing, you now have the opportunity to be in the forefront because you have an equal advantage.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
don't worry about the fact that you've been in the background for years. You need to be worried about in this season. I now have the opportunity to be in the forefront because the field has been leveled. So this is your time. This is your season.
Yeah. And the thing about this opportunity that's been handed to us, right? It's been given to us, this opportunity, is you literally can have a church that has 15, 20 members, 50 members, but have an online church that has 1.7 thousand members, that has 2 million members, because of the opportunity you have to maximize media on social media platforms, on the different venues that God is affording us. And so I want to talk about this because sometimes people think your message is enough. Now, I don't mean no disrespect, but we think our message is enough. My message is powerful. I've got all my points. I'm homiletically correct. I've done all of my homework. I know how to hoop and I know how to holler, and my message is great. And we think that people are going to come just because of the message, and they forget that your packaging is just as important as your presentation.
Absolutely.
Right? So what I'm really saying is sometimes we have the right message, but we got the wrong packaging. The presentation of it is not correct. It is not polished. It is not ready to reach the audience that you want. It's like if I was trying to use MySpace to reach the people that I'm trying to reach now. I'm on the wrong platform. I got the wrong packaging. If I'm using a Word doc flyer, right? No shade to nobody, but if I'm using clip art, I've got the wrong packaging to reach my now audience. And we start talking about millennials, right? We start talking about that topic, and people like, oh, you got to have this and you got to have that, and they don't realize that it's not about millennials as much as it is about being relevant.
Yeah, that's it.
Because the generation is going to change. What happens when the alpha generation comes? You're still going to be talking about millennials? No. You need to talk about and focus on how can my message stay relevant. And the way you can make your message relevant and to keep yourself in the right rooms is by using media. I use this example. This is what I call the law of the drinking glass, right? This is my experience. I went over to a friend's house and I was thirsty and I asked them for some water, and they brought me back water, but the glass was not clean. And I was thirsty, but I'm not drinking out of that glass.
Right.
And so I had to make a decision. This is what I call the law of the drinking glass, because what we think that because people are thirsty and because we have water, they're going to take what we give them. No, the glass is dirty. I don't want to drink from that because I don't like the presentation. And so I want us to lean into that a little bit more. How important is your presentation? How important is the packaging of your message to your audience?
First, before I even deal with the packaging of your message, I gotta back up and I talk about the message for just a quick second. Go
ahead.
A lot of us we're our biggest cheerleaders, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being your biggest cheerleader. But there comes a time, especially when you want to be presenting something to the public, taking things to the public, you've got to be clear you have a good message. And we're not talking about the gospel, the message of the gospel. I'm talking about why you do what you do and who you do what you do for. So that's the message, right? Let's be very clear. So one of the first things I always ask people is, you say you're a pastor, you say a leader, who did God call you to serve? Since we're going to talk in the realm of faith, who did God call you to serve? Who's your audience? Because I need to know how to tailor the message to fit who I've been called to serve, who I've been called to represent. Because oftentimes you can have a good message, but do not know how to communicate it to the right audience.
Right.
So you've got to be clear before you even package your message, who's your message intended to reach. Because if I'm a millennial pastor, but my congregation is for seniors, and I have mostly 80-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds who follow me because they love me, they love my charisma, they love my spirit. My packaging isn't for millennials, even though I'm a millennial pastor. My packaging then is for seniors. Those are of age. So you've got to be clear who your audience is before you can even take it to market, before you can even take it. And I think a lot of times we don't spend enough time clarifying what's our message and then who our message is for. When I meet with clients, I literally spend weeks going over the drilling down. What's your message? What are you saying? What are you doing? How are you doing it? Who is this for? What do they look like? What do they sound like? Where do they live? Asking all of those types of questions and really drilling down, because one of the worst things, and I see it happen all the time, you create all of this great marketing, you do all these great lives, you do all these streaming services, and you got all this great stuff happening, looks good. but it reaches nobody because you're pushing it out to air, because you have not visually and sustainably, strategically thought out who are the people that I need to reach with what I'm creating. So
Yeah.
before we even talk about packaging, let's talk about the meat. My dad, who's a bishop who passed away, he used to talk about sustenance. What's the sustenance of it? You know, and I think that's where we need to spend time as leaders, as thought thinkers, as people who are putting things to market. We've got to be thinking about the sustenance of it. What's the body of it? Because if it and I'll be honest with you, I've done marketing material and I've had to stop doing certain projects because it lacks sustenance. It lacks some meat to it. I said, I can't work on this. One, it's hard to visually and conceptualize something that's lacking. You know, it's hard to put that to market. So
Yeah.
if you just are coming up with things in the middle of the night and you dreaming and wondering and you haven't even put any real work to it, I'm not the person to come to. You want to bring something to me, to other professionals in the industry that you really put some work into, you put some thought into, you planned it, you bounced the idea with some other people who have pushed back on you, said, oh no, I don't think this is really how we need to be doing. You need to have those types of conversations to ensure that by the time it's ready to be packaged, it's something worth packaging. And then if you're going to talk about the packaging, you've got, once you know who it's being delivered to, then you know how to deliver it. Then you know where to put it. You know where to place it. Because every marketing material doesn't go everywhere. There are things we design and we put together for certain markets. You know, for example, I'm not always putting everything on Facebook that I put on Instagram. It just doesn't go. You know, every video that we create, we don't put it on all of our platforms because it might not even load properly. You know, for example, we're not putting tons of videos on Twitter, especially not 30-minute videos. They don't play. You can't get a video longer than 2 minutes on Twitter. So why am I putting a content and things that I've really worked on that's 30 minutes long on a platform that only plays 2 minutes in the platform? So once we know where we're delivering it, we know how to package it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Did you guys get that? I see a lot of people, Chelsea saying this is good. Madges commenting, June is saying amen. Oh my God, this is so good. I need you right now, wherever you are. We got some new people that's on. I don't know if you heard, but I am on today with none other than Sean James, and he is lighting us up with fire. I want you guys to get some more people on this live. So share, invite, like it. Tell somebody about this, especially if you know pastors and leaders, if you know solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, serialpreneurs, everybody. Get them on this live to get this information because they need it. We need it, okay? Because we need to take our live to the next level. We need to take our live streamings to the next level. We need to take our presentation of our message to the next level. This is vitally important for the success of what you are doing. And so I see some new people on. We got Kimbo, we got Tanel, we've got Diane, we've got so many good. Oh, wow. Pastor Mason is on. Eli is on. Hey. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm your leadership coach. I'm your church consultant, your ministry strategist here to help us learn how to reach and pastor a digital church using media. And my guest today is dropping some nuggets in the comment section. You need to start tagging somebody to be a part of this conversation. Hey, Natasha, thank you for joining us today. Now, we're going to go a little bit deeper, so I hope you guys, this is good. Oh, yeah, I see people commenting. This is good. This is good. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to take it to the next level because he actually answered 2 questions in one. So I hope you got that. Okay, because many times we're not conscious of how each platform works. And I did a live on that a couple of weeks ago. So if you go back in the archives and you look up any video that says how to reach and pastor a digital church, you're going to hear me talk about the different platforms and how to use them, right? And what each platform is for. I love what you said about knowing your platform. You can't know which platform, how to present till you know your audience, which goes back to clarifying your message and your mission. Okay, that's what we want to focus on, your message and your mission. So we're diving deeper into this conversation. And so one thing I see many, many times is we're making big mistakes, right? We're missing the mark. We have good intentions, our heart is right, but we're missing the mark. Okay, so I want us to talk about what are some of the mistakes that you see us making as you're on social media, you're watching different churches, and I'm saying us because I'm not exempt from it. But what are some of the mistakes that we're making, it, and what are some of the things that we need to do as a church to begin to market ourselves using media in excellence? How do we take it to the next level?
Wow, that's a full and loaded question, but I'm going to give you a few key points that I like to consider. One, don't forsake planning. Do not forsake planning. Planning is going to cover you, and it's going to really take you the length and the journey that you need to go with your brand, with whatever you're trying to put to market. When you do plan, get the right people around you. And who are the right people? You need, and I shared this on a live yesterday, in particular with churches and COVID-19, you need, if we deal with this situation in particular, your planning needs to involve your local government official. It needs to involve healthcare professionals. It needs to involve someone in PR and marketing to help you to communicate the message as the message changes over a period of time. And then you also need to get some voices around you that can help you ration and reason. So every circumstance is going to be different. You're going to call to the table different people for different circumstances. But if we just use this COVID-19 moment, you need the right voices at the table to help you plan. Why do you want to be able to plan? You want to plan because you don't want to just put anything out there. You want to put something that's solid, that's concrete, that's really going to help you reach the bottom line. Two, if you're going to be doing things online in the virtual world, a digital church, you really want to be investing and doing research on tools that's going to help you to convey your message. I came on this live today with Coach Ramsey, and I had the tools in place to come on a live, meaning I have lighting, I have, a good internet feed. So these are some of the things that we have to talk about. Here's a good tip for you. When you want to go live with someone, you want to test your upload feed. So you want to go, there's a free website. It's escaping me for the moment, but testmyspeed.com. There it is. Testmyspeed.com. You go to testmyspeed.com and you want to see what's the rate of upload for your feed, because you don't want to get on live or on a Facebook video and you're buffering and no one knows what's going on. So if you find that your speed is below the suggested rate, you want to call your cable company. You want to call your internet provider and say, hey, can you bump my speeds up? I'm doing virtual church from home. I'm doing virtual church from my sanctuary, and we need to have top speed. So that's something that you want to consider. So you want to be able to do the research. You want to get lighting. Should you get a ring light, or should I get 2 to 3 point lighting? Well, if I'm doing a live video, I want to have lighting on my left and my right, so it's an even balance. You want to make sure you're investing in things that are going to help you, and then you want to dispel myths. Oh, it's too expensive to do that. It's complicated. It's not expensive. It's not complicated. Here's something that's going to help you moving beyond this place. There is something on every level. There is a product, there's a service for every level. You've got to be realistic about the level that you're at. If you know you're not at the $10,000 level, that's fine. If you're at the 500, 200, 100 level, find out who's in that market that can give me quality and excellence on my level. So dispel the myth saying that it's too expensive, it's too much work. If you don't know how to do it, one of my clients, he always says this, he hires his weakness, because you have to recognize that you don't know everything, that you don't have every answer. So
that's right.
You gotta dispel the myths. So I think those are some things that off the back I would give to leaders. Plan, dispel the myths, and invest in the right technology on your level to get the excellence that you want. Because excellence is not an option. It's required in what we do. Why? Why is excellence required? Because we don't get another opportunity. You get one opportunity to come before people and to win them over. You don't get a second chance. So that time that you're going live with your Bible study, your virtual service, that's your one opportunity to win that soul. You don't get a second chance. So excellence is the standard. You got to get it right. And you can get it right on your level.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I said it, I think last week on one of my lives. I said, virtual church, live streaming your church service, when you're preaching in a building, one person might get up and walk out, because they got to leave, or two people. But online, you can lose 10 people at one time. You can lose all your viewers at one moment. It's so sensitive. It is so sensitive. And right now, there's a smorgasbord of church, right? So when you go on Sunday, you scroll down, it's live, 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 live. What's making your live stand out? Because everybody's doing it. All of the churches most churches are doing it. And so you got to know your message, your mission, have clarity about how you're conveying it to people in such a way that even your room tells a story. Come on, even your room that you stand in to present tells a story. How you present yourself, what you wear, what you look like presents a story. Your lighting helps to present a story. It tells people, I've taken my time, I care about what I'm doing, and I care about you. Because whether people believe it or not, darkness is distracting.
Yeah.
When people can't see you on a live, it's not attractive. It doesn't make me want to stay.
Or they come on your live and they looking up your nose because you don't have your camera at island. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have it positioned.
Oh yeah, I see that.
You gotta plan.
I see that a lot.
You don't just pick the phone up and go live. We don't do that. We've got the same way you would invest in your worship service, in your business meeting. I don't go into a business meeting without presentations. Every meeting that I go into, I have a presentation, and that takes planning and preparation. So why would I take this virtual room and this virtual experience and just get up here and do whatever? And so much so, I think about even in this moment, I know what's behind me. I know where it's placed. It's placed strategically. I want you to see certain things. I want you to see that tree behind me. I want you to see the banner with my logo on it. I don't want it to be so prominent. I want it to be subtle. I want you to see a few books. I want you to think I'm a little bit educated. I want you to see photos around me. I got family. I got loved ones. People supporting me. I'm in a good chair. These are things I want you to see because I'm conveying a message. What's the message? I'm professional. I'm balanced. I'm not full of myself, but I've put the work in. I'm respectable. These are things that I want you to get. And then when I get up here, I'm presentable. I look clean. I look together. I might need to shave my head again, but I look decent. So this is part of that planning that you've got to do before you come into this virtual world. You can't neglect it. You can't neglect it because it shows. When you neglect the plan and you neglect strategy, it shows.
Yes. And one thing that I'm realizing even more so now is that staging is important. Staging is important, and everybody doesn't have it. You don't have a knack for it. You don't have that, but you can glean and you can build as you go. You don't have to buy everything at one time, but you can build as you go. And that's so important. And I was sitting here, I was laughing because I've seen so many. Oh my goodness. And I'm just like, why is that camera at that angle? Like, why am I looking at her chin? Like, what is happening? What is happening? And and again, we're all learning, but my theology, my philosophy, I should say, is that there's nothing wrong with making a mistake, but there is something wrong with making the same mistake over and over and over again. You have to learn as you go to build that audience. And people of God, a flyer is not enough. So let me put a parking lot. Let me put this car in this parking lot right here. Okay. Back in the day before this pandemic, you could put up a flyer, you get your little like, somebody share it. It's great. Now, social media cannot be seen as just a platform for advertisement, but it must be seen as a platform for engagement. You
Absolutely.
have to shift your thinking. You have to shift your thinking because posting a flyer is not enough. You have to add more into your live stream. Just preaching on Sunday is not enough. You've got to add that element of engagement to it, where people actually can feel a virtual hug. They can feel, they know that you see them, that you're taking them into consideration when you're advertising what you're doing. And so I think that right now, even when we're on this live and I'm looking at the different people and I'm calling out names and I'm saying hello and I'm posting their comments on the live, this is what we call engagement. Okay, so while you guys are learning as you go, let's begin to build engagement. Don't get so enveloped in your message that you forget the people you're delivering the message to.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we get so excited about what we have to say that we don't take into consideration the people that we have to say it to, where they are, where they're going, what they're listening to, and how we can deliver our message even better. So
And
I've been so blessed. I know that you guys, go ahead.
I want to insert right there. I think that that's not something that we can skate over. You
Mm,
have to make an investment in people if you want people to make an investment in you. You know, that's at the core. It's, if you are a service-based industry, you can, that's a church, that's a business, you're providing services. You've got to make the people the center of what you do. And I think we forget that. You know, we
yeah,
just want them to hear us. We just want them to give their offering. But they've got to be the center of of what your operation is about. So, you know, if I'm doing something online, you know, I'm taking the time to make sure I'm communicating and they understand it. I take the time to over communicate. I take the time to overshare. Furthermore, one of the things I like to share with people, when we start talking about the vision of an organization, the vision of a company, you've got to overstate that. And I don't mean you quote it verbatim. I mean it has to be in every element of what you present. You have to have your value embedded in everything you do, because that's literally, if your vision is orchestrated properly, the people sit right in the middle of your vision. The people that you delivering your product to market, your service, your church, they sit in the middle of your vision. So if the people sit in the middle of your vision and your vision is in attached to everything you produce and you do, that means the people are at the core of what you do. And
yeah,
that's the kind of investment that you get when you talk about engagement. That's the kind of investment that you want to make to get engagement. So
yeah,
I caution people against false engagement, where we only shouting you out because you here, or you know, just for false pretenses. But you've got to be real about the engagement that you want, because
yeah,
the same way people can feel a phony in person, they can feel a phony online. So be
yeah.
real about your engagement. Be real about the investment in people, because they'll be real about it with you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Because again, it goes back to what you were saying earlier about knowing your audience. Once you know your audience, how you package, how you present to them, it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Now, I know there's some people on here that you're working on something, you're building something, you got a mission, a vision, you got a plan. There's something that God has given you to deliver, a message He's giving you to deliver to people. And right now, you're using social media to do that. I want you to realize that there are three spheres of people that you impact. And this is why media is so important, because you have three spheres of people that are listening to your voice, that you want to reach with your message. So you have your core, right? These are people who know you. These are your people that help you build. They may be on your team that actually help you get the thing out. These are your ride or die people. Then you have your crowd. Okay, these are people that know you, they know of you, they've met you at an event, they are associates, they'll share it every once in a while, they like to hear you when they can catch you. And then you have your community who don't know you yet, but they need to know you. They out there, they are a part of your identification of your audience, right? They meet all of those characteristics, but they have not yet heard your message. And many times I see that we stop at our core and our crowd, and we never get to the community.
Yeah,
because
cool.
our messaging is not, it's not refined enough, because our packaging is not, it's not catered to the audience that we're trying to reach. You got to realize, when you get on social media, you're not preaching to your church anymore. You're preaching to the world.
That's it. That's
You're
it.
not just preaching, you're not just ministering, you're not just bringing a message to your crowd and to your core. You are reaching your community. And if you're not careful, you'll keep the wrong group of people in mind, and you're not looking at the bigger picture, the opportunity that has landed in your lap to reach the community. And so I want us to take that into consideration, because we get stuck at our core, and we get stuck at our crowd, our supporters, and that's not enough. If the only people that buy your product is the people who know you, you have not maximized media
at all.
You have not maximized your opportunity. That is not enough, because your friends bought your album. That is not enough. And you have to not be satisfied with that. And then what we do is we get mad because our friends don't want to buy everything that we put out. That's not even your audience. They're just they buy every book.
They got everything you got.
And they don't read it. It goes on the shelf. Because you're stuck in the wrong sphere. Your crowd is a great sphere. They just your supporters. Your core is a great sphere. They're going to help you build. But your community is where you're really trying to reach.
That's it.
That's why social media is so powerful. That's why this platform, this opportunity we've been given is so powerful. But we're missing it because we're so stuck at our four and no more.
Yeah. This is good.
You got to start packaging for the community, not your core.
Yeah.
I just said something right there. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I just said something right there. So rethink what you've been doing. Because, and then here's the crazy thing, and I'm gonna get off this tangent. I'm gonna get off of it in a minute. Y'all just bear with me. Here's the crazy thing, is because at the end of the day, if people who know you understand you, and it's like when you write, right? You know, you can write out a paper and you read it the way you think you wrote it, but then somebody else reads it and they're like, oh, you missed the word, you spelled that wrong, you did this, you did that, oh, you need to add this here, move this around here. And you're like, wait, but I read it and I understood it. You got to be so careful that what you are presenting to the world through media is not just because you understand it, but that other people can understand it.
That's why you got to get them people around you. You got to get those people around you to advise you, to help you plan. You can't plan by yourself and be effective. That you just alone. Wow. You're a lone ranger. You've got to get people around you and get the right people around you.
Yeah, I love that. He said you can't plan by yourself and be effective. That's the Bible, y'all. It says, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Multitude.
I shared that yesterday with someone, and I live by that. You know, I live. Yeah. Perfect example. We were trying to decide when to reopen our offices here in Atlanta. And one of the things is I have a community of business owners that I network with, and these are people that I'm close with. Like, I interact with them daily. So I didn't make that decision to reopen my office on my own, but I went to my community. I said, hey, what are you guys doing over at your business? What are you doing with your business? And we discussed, when do we think is best? How do we do it? You know, and then we collectively decided we would have all of our buildings cleaned. We would have all of our ventilation cleaned. We would have deep sanitizing in the buildings that we own and operate. So we made those wise decisions collectively, because we couldn't do it on our own. You know, I might still be sitting at home, you know, sitting in my living room and have not come back into my office. And then further, when do we bring staff back into the office? That was part of having a community conversation, you know, so that we can get a good plan together.
Yeah, I like what you said, because, and this is where we're going to wrap it up at, because this is key for those of you who are starting to reopen. See, the states are starting to reopen slowly but surely. States are reopening and churches are about to start reopening. You need to have a reopening plan. You need to have a comeback plan. You need to have, I'll say it again, you need to have a comeback plan. You need to market it. You need to have a media plan for your comeback. You know why? because you have been exercising your opportunity to reach more people. So now that you reach those people online and they may live in your area, you want to make sure that if it's possible, you can get them into your building. What is your plan for getting those viewers to actually be in your building when you open?
Absolutely.
Because see, a flyer, again, is not enough. You have to have strategy. And that's why I was talking with some pastors this past week in strategy sessions that I offer, because you have to have a strategy for your reopening. You can't just open the doors and then, let me tell you, people are going to be real shocked about all the people that don't come back to your church.
Right.
This pandemic has shifted a lot, and it's going to take strategy. It's going to take a marketing plan. It's going to take a polished marketing material because you got to communicate. All right, how are we addressing the pandemic as people are coming back? What is our plan? And you have to do that. Infographics, you need to have things that say, this is the plan. Step one, we're doing boom, boom, boom. Two, we're doing this, because people need to feel comfortable, confident, and safe.
Yeah. And it's a very serious thing because
Oh,
we're dealing with lives, so, we need to be having that conversation with our teams. How do we reconfigure our sanctuary? Can we reconfigure our sanctuary? How are we going to do offerings? How are we going to do communion? How are we, doing those key things a part of our services now, because we have to reopen? How do we do this safely? And I
yeah.
just put this in there. Every senior pastor should call their insurance company, and you need to know what your insurance states about these types of situations, in terms, God forbid, you reopen and there's an outbreak based off of a service that you've had. Is your insurance going to cover that? So that, from a legal perspective, I've been talking with clients and advising them, from attorneys, that you want to make that part of your plan, please. Because don't be out here doing a good work and ending up with a very serious situation in reaction to that. What does the word say? Don't let your good be evil spoken of. So let's be wise in our planning.
Yeah, I love that. Sean, this has been absolutely amazing. So many people have been blessed by this conversation, and I see them commenting and sharing and sharing and liking and liking. Why don't you tell everybody where they can reach you at, and where they can connect with you on?
You can reach us at visionworkspr.co. You can call us 678-722-5166. And we are on all social media platforms, but the major ones, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, at visionworkspr.co. And then if you want to reach me, I am the Sean James on all social media. And I can't wait to connect with you.
Awesome. You see his information down below on the screen. So if you want to connect with him, the information is there. I've been super uber blessed by this conversation. I hope you got something out of it. It's not just the beginning of this conversation. We'll do this again in the near future to make sure that you guys are staying on point, especially as the states begin to reopen. We need to revisit this conversation to make sure that you have your marketing material ready in hand to reach your community, to reach your online community with everything that you need. I've been just full. I'm full at this point about everything that's been said. And thank you again, Sean, for being a part of this conversation. You guys, if you haven't already, you need to like, invite, and share. You need to tag someone so they can catch the replay. Thank you again, Sean, for being with us today. You guys make sure somebody catches the replay. I love what Madge said. She says this was totally worth her time. That means she got so much out of this moment. What a marvelous time. I want to personally invite you guys to our Zoom session tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a Zoom. I want to personally connect with Power Up Partners on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central time on Zoom to just check in. You guys can look on my page and you'll see that information. But we're going to be meeting up just to reconnect. We're going to have fun, and I got to release a special message to you. So we're going to pray, we're going to prophesy, we're going to have fun, we're going to encourage one another on tomorrow. If you are Power Power Up partner, I want you to be a part of that conversation. So you have the information. The event is on my page. Make sure you take advantage of that and you are there. Don't forget, you can book your strategy session. If you're saying, all right, Pastor Chanel, this was good information. I'm ready to take it to the next level, whether it's in my church, whether it's in my business, whether it's just in a personal ministry that I feel compelled to move forward with in this time. I want you to take advantage of the opportunity to have a strategy session with me. And many people, you might not say, I can't do a whole package right now because of my situation, or I'm not really sure exactly how far I want to go with this. That's the time for you to book your strategy session. You can go to powerupnetwork.org/coach-Ramsey and book your session today. I promise you it will be worth your time, and you will leave with more than enough to get started on your journey to success. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for joining us today on the Leader to Leader Live. I hope you share this with somebody that can help them on their journey to improving and excelling in their leadership and in life.